accidents in Bonte. Their number hasn't decreased since the new system was introduced. We can argue about whether the quality of life has improved, but not much has happened with regard to road safety.
Hinsichtlich der Verkehrssicherheit hat sich allerdings in dem Bereich nichts getan.
But what kind of accidents were they? No serious ones in any case. The statistics included minor parking incidents and uncoordinated cyclists.
The accident figures show that in the 2 years during which this system has been in place, there have been 2 people who were slightly injured, but not because a driver and a cyclist or a pedestrian had an accident. It could be that 2 cyclists collided and one of them sustained mild injuries. We don't have chaos and anarchy here.
Shared space doesn't work everywhere. In many central areas, such as Potsdamer Platz in Berlin, there's just too much going on. Town planners say that a shared space can cope with a maximum of 14,000 cars a day. Potsdamer Platz sees 8 times as many.
I can't implement this concept everywhere. If I have lots of cars, like here, cars are just dominant and the design won't make them more likely to be more considerate.
Keine weitere Rücksichtnahme fördern.
Skeptical accident investigators still swear by long-established methods. Cyclists and pedestrians have to be protected from drivers. And that's best done by having a strict separation of road users by having roads, footways, and cycle paths.
Shared space isn't a cure-all for all traffic problems that exist in towns.
A recipe against road rage. Psychologist Arndt Stein is convinced he's found it. He composes relaxing music that's meant to let people get ahead in a stress-free manner. "30 years ago, he started treating patients with hypnosis. During that process, he discovered that gentle music increased the effect. Since then, he's given up his practice and made composing relaxing sounds his life's work."
The music largely has 60 beats per minute, which corresponds to our resting pulse when we're relaxed. But the relaxing effect doesn't just come from the rhythm. It also comes from the composition of the melody, the harmonies, the sounds, which have an effect that we can't really explain, just feel.
Einen Effekt hat, den man eigentlich nicht erklären, sondern nur spüren kann.
But gentle melodies alone aren't Arndt Stein's revolutionary discovery. He has also developed some educational guidelines.
It's a given for you to be respectful towards other road users. You're above venting your disappointments or anger on other road users.
Arndt Stein has already sold 5,000 CDs.
Ein verräterisches Zeichen für Minderwertigkeitsgefühle. Rücksicht nehmen. Entspannt und frei. Gelassen bleiben. Ruhig fahren.
On a test drive, Arndt Stein demonstrates how he imagines the use of his aggression-relieving sounds to work.
Für sie ist es eine Selbstverständlichkeit, auf andere Verkehrsteilnehmer Rücksicht zu nehmen. Entspannt und gelassen Autofahren schont ihre Nerven. Entspannt. Ja, im Augenblick fühle ich mich ganz entspannt.
I feel very relaxed. This feeling of inner peace affects my driving style. I drive more defensively and more calmly.
Defensiver, der Fahrstil wird ruhiger. Eine riskante oder aggressive Fahrweise ist ein verräterisches Zeichen für Minderwertigkeitsgefühle. Selbstbewusst.
The University of Lüneburg has a more clinical approach to road rage. A test subject is being prepared for an experiment where a computer will attempt to recognize her emotional state while driving. Sensors will measure the heart rate, skin conductivity, and the facial expressions of the driver. The idea is that a rage sensor in the car will recognize when the driver becomes too aggressive, prompting the car to react.
Hallo.
Gut, dann beginnen wir jetzt mit den Teststrecken.
The test subject's told to just drive normally.
Du würdest im Straßenverkehr. Und los geht's.
An impatient passenger is there to exert pressure on her.
Und so wie du fährst, kommen wir hier nie vorbei. Ich dachte dir, wenn ich heute zu spät komme.
The passenger is complaining about being late and wants the test subject to drive faster.
Da, guck mal, da ist eine Lücke. Kannst du das... Oder fahr rechts rüber, fahr rechts rum dran vorbei, wenn da jetzt so viele kommen.
All this nagging is having an effect. The markings on the driver's face are constricting, which means she's tensing her facial muscles. All the data is passed on to the computer. Her pulse is going up, and she's starting to sweat.
Oh...
Her driving style also becomes more abrasive and aggressive.
Überhol den doch mal. Ist ja unglaublich, wie du Auto fährst. Na, endlich.
Das kennt man aus dem
We see this in our everyday lives when people are angry. They then tend to adopt more aggressive driving styles. It would be nice if we could prevent that through certain measures. We can try different options. One would be to tailor driver assistance systems to the driver's emotional state. They could detect an aggressive or angry driver and switch on certain safety systems or get the brake assist ready.
Dass der Fahrer aggressiv oder ärgerlich ist, dass man bestimmte Sicherheitssysteme hochfährt.
There are other ideas, for example, intervening in engine management.
Das gibt dann natürlich auch so andere Ideen, dass man
reducing the power of the vehicle.
Eingreift und dann das Fahrzeug.
But people won't accept that.
Nicht auf Akzeptanz stoßen.
That's because drivers have always fought vehemently against new safety measures. In the 70s, no driver wanted to buckle up voluntarily. The use of seatbelts had to be made mandatory. This is true despite the fact that seatbelts, crumple zones, and airbags are why the number of road deaths has decreased by 80% in the last 40 years. But better safety technology doesn't make us better drivers. American studies show that road rage is the cause of 1 accident in 3. Wouldn't it therefore be sensible to stop unpredictable drivers? But how? Volkswagen, Europe's largest car manufacturer, does a lot of market research. On the basis of its findings, the company believes German drivers don't like it when control is taken from them and put in the hands of the car. That's why the car industry calls electronic monitors advanced driver assistance systems. Stressed drivers are to be helped with sensors and a camera, but definitely not patronized. Thomas Ruchatz develops driver assistance systems. He shows us that cars can already brake and steer automatically. Adaptive cruise control, where vehicles automatically slow down when approaching another vehicle, isn't standard though.
We're using the ACC system. I'm going to program the car for 130 kilometers per hour here on the motorway, which is the guideline speed in good conditions. You can see that we're approaching another vehicle, a lorry, which will be going at around 90 kilometers per hour. The car recognizes that we're approaching another vehicle and it automatically slows down. I'm not doing anything but steering, while my car adapts to the speed of the vehicle ahead of me and to the distance I set. We can also demonstrate here how the lane assist works. If we approach the side of the lane, there's a steering motion. I'm taking my hands off the steering wheel to demonstrate that. The vehicle steers back into the lane.
The problem with developing such assistance systems is finding out how much they should assist. If they intervene too little, they're no use. If they intervene too much, they annoy the driver. The driver still wants to choose where to go.